everyone, this is Susie with Creative Cafe, and I had a question about how I do my canvas bindings, and I have really enjoyed using the cardstock and a canvas backing when I make my bindings. I just think they look so nice, and really like the way they feel. So anyway, I'm going to show you how I do that. Cuttlebug has a 12-inch long embossing folder here, and so that is what I have been using on the really long bindings that I have. I'm not sure how wide this is. If I can find my ruler, it's actually a 5 3/4. So I mean, it's pretty wide, and 12 inches is great for the length. And I wanted to make sure it was 12 inches. But anyway, this is what I use on my. I have two of them, different patterns that I use. If you have the little smaller ones, a lot of times you can, and I have done this. You can actually put half of it in and then take it and put the other half in and emboss it. The only problem is you do end up with a line that you kind of have to contend with or do something with, or that's the only bad thing about using the shorter one, but it can be done. But I enjoy using the 12-inch long ones. So what I do is I take whatever size I'm going to, the cardstock, I take and cut it whatever size I want to make my binding, and then in the width part of it, if I'm using lace or something kind of like I did this one here, I don't worry about so much about cutting it any bigger. But if I'm just using it with nothing else, no lace or anything coming down the side, what I do is once I get the width that I want for my binding, and my length, what I do is I will cut it 1 inch larger than what I want. And what I do is I stick my canvas on first. Like this piece here, I have cut it. It is 11 by what I actually wanted was a 4-inch binding. So I've cut it 1 inch bigger, and what I've done is I've cut it at 5 inches, my cardstock. Now I cut my canvas the size I actually wanted for the binding, but I cut my cardstock 1 inch bigger. And so my canvas is 4 inches, but my cardstock is 5 inches. And then what I have done is I've took and I set my, I've actually put my canvas on this one. But what I usually do is I take the cardstock and I cut it down first. I actually go ahead and score it, and I scored it 1/2 inch on each side, so that I have my 5 inches with a 1/2 inch scored on this end, and I just turn it, and then I turn around and score it 1/2 inch on the other end, and then I cut my canvas the 4 inches and I go ahead and set it in. Okay, and when I'm not using cardstock, what that lace or something on my bindings, what that does is get rid of that raw edge. It just makes it look a little nicer, detailed as you're putting it on. Okay, so once I have my score and my canvas on and all, I will put it in my folder, and I put it right side up, so that this one particularly has little holes in it, and I actually want my holes to look like they're going in, so they have to be, this has to be put in going the right side up. Okay, then I just put it in my folder and these also I have bought the 12-inch, and I just stick it in my whoops, let me back this up here. So I just stick it in, and I have the Big Kick vintage. Okay, that's what I use. And I actually got this really good deal at Michael's for like $25. It was on sale and it was unbelievably priced. So anyway, here's my embossed cardstock with the canvas already on it. Then what I will do is, before it goes on my album, I'm going to take my sticky strip and I'm going to run it down, each of my 1/2 inch pieces here. And I actually, the last time I was in the city, found this 3/8 inch scoring tape. And I love it. I love it, love it, love it, because it's not a 1/2 inch. It's just a little under a 1/2 inch. So when I go to put my 1/2 inch scoring tape on, I always have tape that's kind of right on the edge and always showing. But with this 3/8 inch tape, it doesn't. Absolutely love it. Didn't even know they made it. So anyway, I go ahead and what I do is I stick that down with my sticky strip. Those 1/2 inch score lines. So then, as I'm putting it on my album, okay, and I usually roll it a little bit and kind of get it a little bent for it to actually go on the album. Okay, then what I have is I don't have any raw edge, and then it just goes so nicely on my album. I absolutely love them when I make them like this. And I don't have any album to put it on there for you. If you're using one that actually has the cardboard, this has an actually cardboard piece put in it, then what I'll do is, of course, score where my cardboard is going. So if this was my cardboard spine, then I would take my ruler or my scoring and I would just score that really good. Okay. Okay, there's that. And then I would take my ruler here. Okay, and I would score it. You know, and my cardboard, of course, would be placed. Okay, and then your cardboard, of course, is placed in here. And then that makes it nice and really tight and squared. But if you're just using one that you're actually just putting the canvas binding on, you're not putting the cardboard on, then I usually give it a good roll just so that it's nice and already rounded for me. And like I said, if I'm using the cardboard or the chipboard spine, because when I do the hinged ones, I actually place them on the cardboard is what I do, or on the chipboard when I'm doing these hinged albums. Okay, and so then that's how I do it. I just score it. I just score it, and then I just make sure I got this nice and flat. And anyway, it just gives it a nice look. And I love, like I said, I love the canvas on the cardstock. I just love the way it feels, and it makes the cardstock so sturdy. It's not going to rip on you when you open and close your album all the time. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed that. Thanks so much for watching.